What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again for another episode. Sorry, a nice episode as well. Another episode of Lights Camera Collect. It's going to be optical, an Avengers level panel. Right now, we don't have the full Avengers with us. We don't have Mr. Kiko Collects, but we do have Mr. Optical 20. Optical. It's been far too long, dude. One of my best bros in life in general, in collecting all of it, dude. Optical. We started, you remember the old days? We started with hot dogs. And we went all the way now to this live stream with Melon, where we went cheap. And we went cheap. Yeah, we went from gourmet hot dogs all the way to Melon instead of StreamYard. So
I like how the more viewers you got, now you're
the more viewers, the less production quality.
Next time we're gonna use Skype.
Exactly. We're using Skype next time, dude. Oh my god, dude. You remember those days? Skype and then Zoom, dude. Skype was Blockbuster, and then Netflix came in, right? That was Skype, and then Zoom came in, right, and just completely destroyed.
Showing our age here, so yeah,
dude. I don't know if the chat's gonna remember Skype. They have to. I feel like they have to remember this. Yeah. But Optical, how you doing, man? Happy to have you.
Feeling good, man. I'm excited. I'm happy to be here. I haven't done this in a while. Funny enough, because my wife asked me, was like, you haven't done streaming in a while, and I was just like, I don't really want to do it. And then she saw me setting up like last minute right now. She was just like, what are you doing?
She was like, I thought Optical, I thought you left this in the past. And you were like, no, baby, I'm back.
I was just like, dude, it's not like I'm doing heroin or something. I'm just gonna stream. It was like,
you had a John Wick moment. You're like, I'm thinking I'm back.
Yeah, it's just like I'm putting the holster, the guns in the holster back.
Optical, did the Bears lose 10 games in a row? Is that how I remember that happening?
We don't talk about that. Right? That's
is that what happened?
That is the Washington Wizard. No, but I think it's close to 10 games in a row. That was wild. That was wild.
I don't really care who wins the Super Bowl. So for the super football fans out there, Chiefs, or whether you're an Eagles fan, I'm rooting for either team. Either one is good with me. So I'm excited, dude. And I'm happy to have you, Optical. Is that the Undertaker behind you?
It is the Undertaker.
I was like, this because we haven't streamed together in a while. I was like, is that Undertaker? Dude,
yeah, a very big Undertaker behind me.
And you still have that quarter scale Mando, I see.
I see that. Yeah, I got the quarter scale. I added to my quarter scale that Iron Man right there.
Nice. Okay. Well, hopefully your in-art figures that you purchased shipped because
once I hold it tomorrow, we're both glazing on them now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, people say I glaze on Hot Toys and in-art. I get it from both directions. So at this point, it is what it is. So, but we do have a special guest, Optical, and people do, I guess, may remember him, but the username may throw people off just a little bit. It's Mr. Kiko Collects. Kiko Collects is a trade war survivor, and he is here. Kiko, I heard you had quite the ordeal going on off screen. What happened?
Well, I don't really know. Cindy's getting older, as people know, and we're just trying to combat that. She woke up, well, rephrase that. She didn't wake up for breakfast this morning, which is usually kind of our get out of bed time because all three of them kind of do their thing. So that was cause for concern. Then we tried to feed her, and she didn't eat. And we even tried to hand feed, and she only ate like half out of our hand. And she was still going potty, still doing all that stuff. So we're like, what is going on? And so we're like, like looking at her, and it's almost like when you have your own children, like you can look at your kids and tell something's wrong because you see them every single day. It's the same thing when like I looked at Drago one time and like half his face was swollen. I was like, what bit him? Because something's wrong here. Yeah. So I was looking at her, I was like, something's not right with her. And we don't know what it is yet because like half of her face is swollen right now and she's still not eating and really not drinking. And so I was trying to get her to have a little bit of water before I came on here. And I did put her outside to pee without the boys and give her a little bit of space. So she did do that. And we have, unfortunately, a vet appointment tomorrow at 11 to hopefully right the ship and get her feeling better.
Well, hopefully everything improves for Cindy soon, dude. You know,
we just can't catch a break around here with my family. And so whether it be me, Amy, the dogs, I'm just looking for a win.
Cindy is absolutely an angel. And I think you got to win, Kiko, and it's those safety pins that you assembled to your Joker figure. I think that was pretty remarkable.
Needle nose tweezers.
Well, but you installed the safety pins. No, I'm talking about the ones for the grenades. Isn't that what you did? You installed the little 1/6 safety pins?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because Justin told me those things pretty much. He met his match. He's like, I'm not doing them. I think when I review the figure, I don't think I'm going to do them either. I'm just going to put the grenades in without the safety pins because it's just, yeah.
Well, so those are in-art grenades, by the way, if you're wondering. Because,
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and I said, since I'm going to have two purple-coated joke. Well, here they are. 2 purple-coated jokers. I said, you might as well at least change up the pose on, one of them. And so I was like, I might as well just go with the grenades on that one. So
yeah, that's fair. Well, I have to ask you guys a really important question before we get too deep to our philosophical conversations, because trust me, there is a lot to talk about. And there are some topics on here that are Kiko gave me some, I guess, some guidance on one of the topics, but I'm going to introduce it well. And I think we'll be able to have a productive discussion about it. But nonetheless, guys, I have to ask you a very important question before we get started. So pay serious attention, guys. And chat, I need you to weigh in. This is very important. For tacos, are we going tortilla wraps? Or are we going hard shell? What are your thoughts, Optical?
For somebody who has a Hispanic last name.
Yes. And I don't mean that. I don't ask this question just because you're here. I would ask this question to anyone.
Hard shell for me.
Hard shell. Okay.
I love hard
Kiko.
shell.
Weigh in, Kiko.
So I'm going to go direct opposite. For some reason, I enjoy the soft shell. I get the hard shell appeal, but for me, it's just something of it's like a warm hug when you're putting all your food in there, and it's like a warm hug and party in your mouth after that, because I don't know. For me, when the hard shell like breaks down the middle, that's when I start losing my frustration. And so I feel like there's more safety in maintaining all your food without it falling in between. So gotta go soft. Yeah,
I gotta say, honestly, like if I had to choose one, it probably is going to be soft shell tortilla. But I will say, Optical, I love sometimes I just love a hard shell, just eat it without taco meat in it. Like it just really great.
Flour or corn though? That's another huge debate.
Wait, flour or corn? What do you mean? The tortilla wrap? You mean?
Yeah, flour or corn tortilla.
Oh, I don't think I'm not that fancy, dude. I'm just like, I just need a tortilla wrap. One, I don't think I've noticed the difference. Are they significant?
Yeah, I think so. So like one is made of flour, one is made of corn.
But I mean, like, do they taste a lot different? Like,
They really do. Yeah.
Okay.
More authentic Mexican cuisine will yield with the and correct me if I'm wrong on this, we'll use the corn tortilla because it's more authentic as opposed to flour. The flour tortilla is more an Americanized version, I believe.
Optical can speak to this.
Yeah.
Optical.
There's a certain skill level when it's a hard shell,
Okay.
Which I don't have.
Yeah, same exactly.
There's like a taco holder or something. Because the moment it breaks, now you got to eat it sideways.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that.
Dude, honestly, I do love a good. Optical's kind of telling me I haven't had a good hard shell taco in a while. They are messier though. I feel like they crunch and they fall apart easy, and it's like a little bit more of a mess. But I do like that. I do like a messy lifestyle sometimes. So
but when Taco Bell introduced their Dorito Locos tacos, I feel like that was an abomination. Like there's no reason that you need to be having a Dorito shell taco. Like that is
it's like anything in life. We don't need to do anything, but it's like, but I'd like to do that. Yeah, like I mean,
you gotta try it once,
Exactly. Well, I would say something, but we're in the first 10 minutes, we might get demonetized. But I would say, again, people try certain things in life. There's one hole, but you're meant to use the other, but people do it. So I mean, it's like
the other one is supposed to be just for exit, but
exactly. But people do it.
We go in there,
Exactly. So
I have been a huge proponent of never. I've never been the butt person at all.
Yeah, me.
Ever.
Actually, I've never done it either.
I've never understood the desire. Like, if that's your thing, for real, go, enjoy. But like to me, it's like I love the shape, obviously, and I love the feel, but I have never had a desire to put anything up it. So
yeah, that's fair, especially mine. But yeah exactly. But okay, well, that's our best
that's for all the kids out there.
That was absolutely nowhere, but
that was our best cold open yet. Honestly, thank God Opticals was here for that one.
Equan says he likes it hard in his mouth, so
Kiko said it's a party in your mouth. So I mean, if anything, he started this conversation. But guys, let us know your thoughts on everything we just discussed in the comments section below. We got a lot of fun topics, of course, nothing in the realm of what we just discussed, but hey, it's fine. We got a nice introduction. We got the crowd warmed up officially. So guys, let's jump into our first topic. There's a lot of news to jump into, but the first thing that I want to talk about is a new figure announcement that just popped up today. Kiko. Before I get to Optical on this one, the Captain America. There's a new Captain America film coming out, I believe next week. Was called Brave New World, right? Which I don't feel great about. I mean, look, there's been a lot of rumors here and there, Optical and Kiko, about the test screenings and the audience reactions not being so strong. All of that is speculation as far as we're aware. We don't really know. From the trailers I've seen, I have seen good things. I have seen some promising things, and I've also seen some concerning things. But there's not a lot with this story and these trailers that's really gripping me. Not a lot where I'm like, I need to go see this immediately. Although I probably will. I probably will go opening night, but it's not like I'm like super amped to go. Kiko, is this figure, this Captain America 2.0, Sam Wilson, is it better than the original Captain America from the Disney Plus series? Is this a figure collectors should consider adding at all? Because he's wearing blue instead of white now. What are your thoughts?
I'm probably going to be in the minority here, perhaps, but this is not what I'd be looking for if I was looking for a Falcons, because it's about as far away from your original comic accurate suit with the white is the most accurate to the comics. I will say, great Anthony Mackie portrait that they did on the head sculpt. Beautiful job on that. But no, thank you. Not really interested. It also looks he looks very, very thin and malnourished. He doesn't look, especially some of the ones from the sides, at least for the teaser trailer or the teaser promo where they're like, hey, new Captain America's coming. He looks very thin there. And, but if this is your Captain America, if you're excited about the movie, if you just like the Falcon storyline, then, by all means, do what you got to do. But I have no interest in the movie. I think there's a reason that there's been reshot 48 million times. It's set to lose a ton of money. And this is not a figure that I need to have anywhere near my collection. And not because I don't like the actor or not because I don't like the character. It's just, I have so many Captain Americas right now. And I have already got the white Captain America. And this, although the wings are cool, unless you can display it with the wings, you don't need to have it, because that's one of the biggest things I said. I think you reviewed the white version before, right, Will?
I did. I sold it to Optical.
Yeah, and so
Optical has it.
Yeah, unless you're using the wings, it's a miss for a figure. I mean, it's close to $400, way too expensive, and I don't know why you'd keep the mask on when you have that beautiful portrait. There's just a lot of confusing things on it, but hey, if this is what you want to complete your display, by all means, enjoy yourself. This is just one that, once again, I don't need to concern myself with. Excited about that.
Yeah, I think so too, man. And just for me, it's just a matter of, again, Optical. Look, we had the original version. It's a very good figure, as you know. You still have it. The head sculpt's great on that one. I mean, the white color scheme, I think, really pops on a shelf. It's just Optical. There's a lot. Sam Wilson is an amazing character, but there is a high bar for people, for him to, I guess, win people over as Captain America. I mean, it's one of those where people see Steve Rogers as Captain America. And, Sam Wilson, who obviously has paid his dues, is a great character, but it's a big mantle to undertake, and people just aren't seeming to buy in just yet. So maybe this film can hopefully do that and pull that off. The show didn't. But Optical, as far as figures are concerned, is this one going to be better than the original? Because that original one is pretty good. What do you think?
I actually like the color scheme better for the white one. I think it just pops better. It hides, because this figure, just if we're talking about just pure figure, there's a seam between on the shoulders, and I get why there's like a cut, so it could move around, but it's less, for some reason, it's less noticeable on a white fabric. In here, you can clearly see the cut on the chest and on the shoulders that makes it a little bit more looking like, an action figure, I guess. While on the white one, it's not so, I don't know. It just blends in a little bit better, in my opinion. Now you're going to buy this for the head sculpt, because everything that's in here is also on the white version. Well, the white version is always on sale. I think it was on sale for like 20%.
Dude, so cheap.
Yeah, you can get it for cheap. Now, to buy, if you bought this, which I understand, it's for the head sculpt. The sales of this, I would say, would depend on how good or bad the movie is.
Yeah.
It feels like Marvel is not going to be fully back, in my opinion, up until Fantastic Four. Maybe. So it's not a knock against the movie, or, I mean, the whole Phase 5 is forgettable. Just how it is. So it's not against the character, the actor, and all that political stuff. I think it's just Phase 5 just never hit. So he's just a casualty of that. Red Hulk might sell just because it's Hulk and people are just clamoring for Hulk. I'm sure this is not, I understand why Hot Toys did it. They have to make something out of the movie. But as a consumer, almost $400 out the door. I don't know. If you want something with a big presence and all that stuff, that white one is still available. So
That's my thing, Optical. The white one's still available and it's super cheap. Maybe this one gets to that point, but this is $375. Like you said, it's getting around $400 or more out the door, right? Probably more than that. And does it look good? Yeah. But that head sculpt on that original version was no slouch. That is a really good Anthony Mackie head sculpt. And I don't really think this one is that much better, to be honest. I mean, Optical, with that one, I don't.
The goggles off on this
right,
one.
exactly. With the glasses, that was the only thing. So that's the biggest thing. But to me, as far as the likeness quality overall, I mean, like that one was pretty damn good, Kiko. So, and you can get that one for you can probably get that one for half as much as this, honestly.
Yeah.
Like on the secondary market or from Pop Culture or something, you could probably get it super dirt cheap.
You had me in the first half with what you just said, Will.
Why? What did you? Oh,
you can get it from Pop.
Oh, Pop Collectibles. Well, I mean, might you share? I mean, you know how I operate. So, but I would say it still looks like a good figure overall. I like the color scheme. I do think it's good. I do prefer the white just a little bit. But again, I think this comes down to what both of you guys said. The movie, right? The movie, I don't think is going to perform super well. I don't think it's going to do absolutely horrible where it's going to bomb completely. But I don't think it's going to be a success either. I think it's going to be okay. But I think the reviews on it, I think this could end up maybe my baseless prediction is like this might end up as like a Thor the Dark World type movie. Like not even that type of box office return, but in terms of like the critic reception, the audience reception, it's like this is a fine Marvel movie, but it's like bottom tier, right?
I was gonna say, isn't Dark World like one of the worst 3 ever done?
Well, probably compared to some of the recent Marvel stuff, I would say it's probably better than some of those.
I was gonna say, but the latest entries have kind of skewed those rankings quite a bit.
Exactly, but in terms of yes, like the first 3 phases, yes, I would agree with you. Yeah, it is one of the bottom ones, but yeah, I mean overall, but the Falcon and Winter Soldier show was very mid. It was fine, right? It was okay. I mean, it was just
all over the place with messaging. You know, it was super preachy, which I think most people are tired of that. And then like, I don't know, it just people have been upset that they've wasted Bucky since Winter Soldier, honestly, and turning him into a bum. And I just think going all the way back to Luke Skywalker, people don't like when their characters that they like turn into losers, and that's what they did to Bucky, and I don't think that's right.
Right, and I agree, and I think overall, I'm hoping that Thunderbolts can return him to his former glory because that's our last hope at this point. Kiko.
Asking a lot there.
It is because I mean, look, it's like I liked him. I liked you better when you were brainwashed because like every film Optical, you said he became an accountant. Like he's just like they nerf his powers, they nerf his abilities, they nerf I'd say his character development. Like every film, he gets progressively weaker. And
the shorter his hair gets.
The shorter his hair gets, the weaker he gets. Yeah. It's just,
I mean, dude literally has super soldier serum in him, and he is this beta dude that gets worked all the time. I was like, come on, man.
And Kiko, some of the scenes, if you go back and watch, some of the scenes from Winter Soldier where he's on the car and flips on the street and into the road, and he has Cap shield and he's flipping the knife, that's some serious shit right there. And then it only goes downhill from there. Yeah. Like, that's why do you think everyone fucking jumped in the artisan queue to get that Winter Soldier? Because no one wants any of the other ones. Everyone wants that version.
And that's why, like, even Black Panther knew that, you know, he kept his arms separate from him because he was a risk because he was so damn dangerous, you know?
Right.
When he finally hands him the weapon, he says, "Where's the fight?" "On its way." You know, because he knows he's the Winter Soldier. He's a badass. He's not some clown, man.
And that's why, like, even in Infinity War, he's kind of wasted. All he does is kind of shoot his gun. That's really it. Like, he doesn't really get much else to do. So it's just, but I mean, look, for Sam Wilson, look, I'm hopeful for the film. He's a great character. I'm hoping he, you know, wins people over with the Captain America stripes. You know, again, he's paid his dues. But I think right now people are just a little bit hesitant to crown him Captain America in the public eye. And I think these trailers, for one, aren't doing the film that much justice. Like, it's not Fantastic Four to me was a more exciting trailer. We'll talk about that. But, you know, these trailers and all the word of mouth has been very negative about the Captain America film. It's just not super, you know, satisfying. It's not super really enticing to people that are just kind of on the fence. And we're the diehards. So we're supposed to be like, we're there day one. But even us, we're like, maybe. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But guys, we have a super chat real quick. Let's address that. Ben or Benny, thanks so much, bro. Have you guys seen Jazz Inc.'s upcoming figures? I have not. Kiko, I saw an Optical. Did you see this? I saw the Penguin one and the Catwoman, but was there any other one that was supposed to be coming up? Did you guys see?
Not that I know of. Yeah, that's the last 2 ones that I've seen.
Yeah, because you probably would have seen Optical. Kiko, you didn't see anything else, did you?
Yeah, I think we talked about it, the renderings for Penguin, unless something else popped up.
Right. I'm not sure. But thanks so much for the super chat, Ben or Benny. I haven't seen it. Let us know in the chat. I haven't seen any other ones, though. But yeah, let us know what you're thinking. If there's some other jazzing stuff, maybe we could talk about it if we have some time. But let's address another, actually, well, a release instead of an announcement. I'm super hyped about this. Darth Maul 2.0 Kiko. Will this be a figure of the year 2025 contender? I think purely honestly, no one is denying the quality of this figure, Kiko, but it purely comes down to, can a 2.0 be figure of the year? That's like the philosophical question I think we have to answer. And Kiko, I love how this looks. One thing I did see, Kiko, in the review videos, the head is not going to work on the old version. I don't know if you saw that. It has that system like Bane and Thrawn and Tom Holland have with the little pop-in neck. So it will not work on the old Darth Maul. Hot Toys was too smart for that. They knew. They said, no, that's not happening.
Well, I've already seen photos of it sitting on the Clone Wars body. So how are they pulling that off?
Maybe tack or something else. But I saw in the video, I think it was MRC had it, where it has that pop-in mechanism. So it's not magnetic like the other one.
And maybe it is just a tack thing then.
Yeah, right. Which you still could do that. If
yeah,
you
it's a lot better than your other options, but
right, exactly. So, but I think I'm probably just going to sell my old Maul and just keep the new one. But that's probably what I'll do. But I thought about putting one head on each of them, like the new one and the old one. But still, Kiko, figure of the year contender. What do you think? I know it's still early, but what are the odds here?
Okay, so I'm in the minority here that was disappointed that I wasn't pleased with how it came out sculpt-wise, as well as just the quality of the paint, as well as the softness. In the original promo pieces, they looked absolutely spectacular, but it came off very, very shiny and almost a little bit too dark. And to this day, the Sideshow version of him is still the best likeness. And I think it's crazy that, the Sideshow licensed product has a better head sculpt than Hot Toys after 3 tries at this point, which I think is wild to me. But as far as figure of the year, I don't know if there is enough here to make it figure of the year, because it's literally just a black silhouette and just like a pop of color on the face. That's my only thing, is that's who the character is. I know, but I don't know if there's enough there. It's almost like saying John Wick's figure of the year. Okay, guy in a suit. Because it's kind of this is the Star Wars John Wick. It's a guy in a black suit with a really nice head sculpt, and that's it to me. Now, I guess the speeder version came out too, right?
It did.
Yeah. Okay.
It did. Mm-hmm.
So that's the one that I have, and I'm excited about the USB light up speeder. I'm excited for that. I'm going to figure out the blue tack situation, because I think the sculpts are just too good to not use on them. But I do think they are downgrades, and that is a big concern and a little bit disappointing for me.
Yeah. And that speeder, I am super excited about, Kiko, because you got a USB lightsaber and you got a USB speeder. And of course, cables included for neither of them, which Hot Toys still to this day maintains they don't need to include USB cables optical, which I think is crazy. But here we are in 2025, and they don't want to do it. Optical. Can it be a figure of the year contender? Because for me, Kiko, he recognizes my craziness. Like anytime I get a new figure, I text him optical, and I'm like, this is the best figure I've ever owned. Like this is he's like, give it like an hour or two, and Will text me and be like, this is one of the best figures I've ever seen. So I pretty much do that all the time. But yeah, this Darth Maul, I think it's going to be a figure of the year contender for me. What do you think, Optical?
I don't know, man. Like this year, isn't Chewbacca coming out this year?
Chewbacca is coming out this year, and you got Feral Predator coming anytime. I'm excited for that one. So
it's too early. But at the same time, is this really a 2.0 though, or is it a 1.5? Kind of thing.
You think it's not that much of an upgrade either?
Because the really nothing changed. Like the base didn't change. I guess you put the USB on the speeder.
Yep.
But compared to, let's say, DX15 and Jack Sparrow, at least the base change. It's kind of comparable, but it's not as drastic as Cap stealth suit, right? That is a 2.0. Like the Cap stealth suit to the old Cap stealth suit, that's huge difference. With this one, I don't doubt this is better than DX16, but you gotta make DX16 you gotta make it look like crap, I guess, for you to be like, all right, like the new Jack Sparrow is good, but it didn't make DX15 look like a Hasbro or Mesco or kind of like that.
Right,
I guess it's still doable. So, but if you do that with Chewbacca to the Force Awakens Chewbacca, he'll be like, oh, whoa, So I guess the wow factor, it's an upgrade. I'm not saying it's not, but to beat the upcoming figures, I don't know about that. I don't even know if I would convince someone to be like, sell your old Darth Maul and take $150 loss and get this. Like, I don't know if I can confidently say that. Now, if you don't have one, I would be like, hey, pick this up for sure. It's not a question. But to ask someone to take $150 loss to get an upgrade, I don't know if I can,
And I think you're right on, Optical. I think you would take about $150 loss if you bought this for retail. I mean, say you get the speeder version. You get the speeder version. I guess maybe if you had the regular version and you wanted to buy the version with the speeder, but if you bought just standard to standard, just Maul, you'd probably lose $50 to $75. I mean, maybe something like that. That to me would probably be worth it. But you don't have to convince people. I'm going to convince people because I definitely think this is a huge upgrade. Myself, I think the cloak looks better.
Typical shill.
Typical shill behavior. Yeah, I pretty much am, dude. But I will say, Kiko, I do think there's a huge upgrade in the sculpt. I think the tailoring looks a little bit better in my eyes. Could just be it's the same picture and I'm fooling myself. I think the cloak definitely looks better. When I saw reviews and stuff and pictures with the cloak, you guys know the cloak in the original version is a fucking nightmare. It doesn't work. You can't get it to lay right. This one apparently I think does lay a lot better. So I'm very excited about that. And the head sculpt to me, Kiko, I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy. And I can't wait to get this one in hand. I am so excited to get this one. I just have too many reviews to get to, but this one I have on order with Josh with the speeder. I'm more concerned right now, guys, about where I'm going to put Maul with the speeder because I got to figure out a spot. The spot I have my current Maul, I guess maybe there, but got to change the pose around. But I'll probably sell that old Maul. This one looks, I think it looks incredible, dude. USB light up saber, USB light up speeder. I think the head sculpt is a big improvement, although the red still maybe is slightly off, Kiko, in terms of the color grade. But to me, the cloak looks much better than it did before. And I think overall, I'm super happy with it. I think that looks amazing, dude. I think that looks so good. I'm super excited. It's going to be a figure of the year contender, Optical. I don't know if it's going to be the winner, but Kiko also raised a very valid point about it being somewhat a basic figure. I mean, it's just like a very good head sculpt with a black cloak. Like that's, John Wick didn't even have a very good head sculpt though, Kiko. So if it did, maybe that would be a conversation. But yeah, no major diorama base. The base
still stands.
Yeah, the base is still exactly the same. You guys are right. Still the same. But you have USB light up features and a new head sculpt. And I think better tailoring and a better cloak. So I'm going to pay the upgrade. I'm excited. I can't wait, dude. I'm going to have to sell my old one, but I'm going to get this new one. Hey, guys, let us know in the chat what you think. I think this is an amazing figure. I think the head sculpt is pretty damn good. I think it's 90% there, if not 95%. I'm very happy with it. I would disagree, Kiko. I think people hold up that Sideshow one a little bit too high. I think that one is like...
I saw a thing today, and you can look for it. There's a picture of the Sideshow, the DX16, and this one right next to it, and you can see just how drastically different. Like the DX16 is terrible at this point. He looked like a little fat kid, and which it's crazy. Like for when we first got that, we thought it was like the best head sculpt ever, and now here we are, like 5 years removed. You're like, whoa, this is not even the same person. But if you look at the Sideshow one, that is Ray Park. It's not even close.
Maybe we have to look at a still from the film and look at the Sideshow one. Maybe then. But Kiko, what you're describing is kind of like Jack Sparrow. You say that the old DX15 is kind of like a fat kid, where the new artisan version, DX39, is a huge upgrade.
Well, I know you were selling your DX15. Did you end up getting a bite on that?
I sold it, yeah. I sold it.
If you don't mind me asking, did you take a massive loss just to move it out, or
not really? I mean, a little bit, because I think I paid when I originally got it. I was still new to collecting, and I bought it a secondhand from someone retail. I think I paid like $250 like retail for it. I sold it for $225. So I didn't.
That's more than I thought you'd get.
Yeah, right. $225. Yeah. So that's actually more than I thought I would get. The guy originally offered me $200, and I was like, no, that's too low. I was like, I'll do $225, pretty much lowest. He's like, okay. So I sold it for $225, and I'm happy with that. I mean, of course, I paid double for the upgrade for that one, but
as long as you can sleep at night, buddy.
I can, dude. I mean, honestly, I don't always sleep well, but I can sleep well because of that at minimum. I got a new Jack Sparrow. Optical, did you get the new Jack Sparrow?
Not yet, but
okay. Are you thinking about it though?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now, Will, let me ask you though, with that Jack Sparrow, right?
Yeah,
if
dude, ask me.
You never had the new one, do you think the old one would be as bad as you think it was? Like if you never hold the new one in hand.
Right, probably not, because then it's like you never know what you didn't have in the first place. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like I would think the old one was still really good, but having the old one and the new ones, holding them both in my hands, I'm like, it's night and day, dude. It's
You've
night.
seen my picture of mine as opposed to yours, Will.
Dude, honestly,
So
Kiko, I saw other eBay listings because I was looking at what they were going for, and the hair looked like mine. I was confused. I'm like, how did Kiko get his hair so pristine? I was like, mine looks like
I don't know how y'all's get yours that crazy. Like, is it humidity? Is it you fumbling around with it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm shaming you, Will.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. That's fair. Hopefully, my artisan Joker hair, which I can show you. So, shout out to Sal because he sold me his artisan Heath Ledger Joker, which Kiko, I know you told me, I don't want to spoil the lead, but you're not super thrilled with. But I'm very excited to get mine unboxed. I did look at the head sculpt briefly, and the hair looks okay, but I need to mess with it a little bit more. I might take a little bit of a water and a brush. It's still in the cylinder right now, but
when you can get high once you pop the cylinder off. There is so much product smell inside there.
Really,
it's
okay.
not even funny. It is wild.
Because didn't they say, Kiko, that Hot Toys wasn't using product on the hair and that's why it was going all crazy, but apparently they are. Yeah, that's pretty wild. I definitely want to check it out, though. I want to check it out. I want to get that Heath Ledger busted out of the box soon, ASAP. Once I get the unboxing filmed, I'll do that, and we'll make sure we look at that. But yeah, Kiko, do you want me to bring up this photo?
Yeah, yes, I do, because Batman Collectibles sent these in to me and said, "Here's what you need to look at, and let the jury decide."
Okay, hold on.
The first one obviously is a real picture of Ray Park, and then you can
Right.
go ahead and show the side by sides.
Right, exactly. Let me pull up the side by sides real quick, and there you can see, guys, side by sides. It's the Sideshow, the DX16, right, and then the other.
That's the DX16. The new one is in the middle.
Oh, the new one's in the middle. Okay,
the new one's in the middle.
Okay, gotcha. It looks, yeah, that's interesting. The paint applications look a little bit more vibrant on the newer one in the middle, but yeah, and I'll pull up the screen photo. Yeah, and this, Kiko, you're gonna hate me. This could be lighting. But I'm gonna pull up the other preview real quick and.
But even just like the pupils of the eyes. I mean, you can be able to see it right here in a second.
The shape is cool. Just the shape.
So, but yeah, there it is. So yeah, that one is a little bit more of a, I guess, a muted red. Mm-hmm. It's like it's not as vibrant as the Hot Toys one is, but yeah, it's a valid point. I will say though, I mean, I think Sideshow maybe has slightly better colors, but I do think the Hot Toys, I still love how it looks, dude. I'm still super excited. I think it's going to be Kiko, figure of the year contender. I'm calling it now. I'm super excited. Fine. So yeah, and honestly, the accuracy to me is not that huge of a deal when it comes to that specific paint application, because it's not like I'm going to be looking at the real Darth Maul and then comparing, like Optical said with Jack Sparrow. Like I'm just looking at Darth Maul in isolation and I'm like, that looks really sick. So I'm excited. But let us know in the comments below, guys, what you think. Darth Maul 2.0, early figure of the year contender. What are your thoughts on that one? Kiko, we got to address another announcement. Optical, I'm not sure if you're going to like this one or not. I'm not sure. I think you like Deadpool 3, but we got an announcement from Deadpool 3. It's the Blade figure, the Wesley Snipes Blade figure. And I would say, I mean, I'm just speculating here, but I feel like this is the one that most collectors have been excited for out of the ragtag group cameos that appeared in Deadpool 3. I mean, of course, you got the Gambit, Human Torch, Elektra with the Blade. And I think overall, I think this one is going to be the one collectors are most excited for. But Kiko, is this Blade worth buying truly? Because everyone wants a Blade, but is it this one? It's probably not the one you really want, but are you settling for this one, buying this one at $290? I do want to note there is an exclusive accessory that's on pre-order with Sideshow that you can only get for the next like 25, 30 days or whatever it is. It's his sword with the extra sheath or whatever it is, or the swap out part of the sword, whatever the part is. But we'll take a look at that. But Kiko, is this Blade really the Blade worth buying, or should collectors hold out? What do you think?
Absolutely not. Do not buy this. It was cool and people wanted to see Blade in the movie. No one is saying, give me Old Man Blade, when everyone wants the original Blade with the trench coat. There's no trench coat. It's just him. And with the gray hair, this literally is old Indy 2.0. And no one, like, I'm sure there'll be the hardcore, fans and the hardcore people that just want everything from this movie. That's fine. But I'm not talking about how the sculpt is good or not good. I'm just saying this is not the one people want. And so if you want to settle you are missing out because everyone wants young Indy. Everyone wants young Blade. Not young Blade, but you know what I mean. It's the original iteration. No one is lining up to say, man, I'd really like, a Terminator Genesis Arnold. No, they want the T-800 from Judgment Day from 30 years ago. They want the stuff that made them feel something. Now, this is a great nostalgic bait and switch for obviously seeing the movie, but this is not one I think worthwhile because there's nothing that makes you go back to the original Blade character in this. I mean, there's no... this is the Deadpool and Wolverine version of Blade that you saw. And no one is going to have him without the sunglasses on. I'm sorry. And so at that point, you're overpaying, I think, for almost $300 for this. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm raining on people's parade, but this is old Indy 2.0. And I even pulled out of wanting X-23 because I think I told you, I was like, do I really want some small little girl? Just like, do I want to pay that much to have just an accessory piece? And I think we've talked about that before, is like, don't buy things just for accessory pieces. And that's all she was. And so I was like, I don't want that. I already got the Susu Toys Gambit. Like that, if you're looking a comic book representation of Gambit, Cajun Card Dealer, that is it. Now, if you want Channing Tatum, sweet. Yeah, I know a lot of people looking forward to that. That'll probably be really cool. But old Elektra as well, like, no offense. I mean, Jennifer Gardner still looks gorgeous to be, at the age she is with all the kids she's had. I mean, I won't look like that at her age, and very few people do. I'm not knocking that at all, but no one wants the old version of their heroes because I think we've all just been born or burned because of old man Luke and all that. Just like, I don't want to be reminded, like old Han Solo. And it's good to see on the screen for member berries. You don't want figure representations of the stuff that you grew up with. I'm just honest.
Yeah, that's fair. I always appreciate the honesty. I do want to point out, Kiko, the chat is correcting us, and I'm glad that they've done this. Apparently, that Darth Maul in the middle is not the new one. It's a repaint of the DX-16. So the one thing they do want to correct on that one, I will say, I pulled up MRC's video to compare while you were talking. Yeah, that's definitely not. This is the new one.
But
that's
looking at the Sideshow one, it is.
I would say color accurate, yes. I will say that point still is valid and still stands.
And
but
thank
this
you
new
for
Darth Maul,
our community notes. We do appreciate our community notes.
Yes, community notes. Thank you for correcting us so we don't mislead people. But I mean, yeah, I think this looks so good. MRC, thank you for putting this video out because I'm super excited for this. Anyway, back to Blade. I cannot wait for Darth Maul, dude. I cannot wait. I'm so excited for Darth Maul. Optical Blade. We got a new Blade here from Deadpool 3. For me, I kind of am in line with Kiko on this one, but a lot of people, Kiko, did message me about this one and were very excited about it, which kind of maybe changed my tune a little bit. Because originally I was like kind of feeling the way you were. I was like, does anyone really, I mean, they're most excited out of that group for Blade, but do the masses really want this version of Blade? Apparently they do. Because a lot of people messaged me saying they dopoed, they wanted this guy early. They
all
wanted
right,
to
let's see those pre-orders, people, because I don't believe you.
Yeah, or also when the final balance comes, when the invoice comes, are they going to pay it? But I mean, I think again, right now, I think it's a stopgap. It's kind of like Old Man Indy, like you said. So if a new Blade comes up and they say, okay, we're remaking that old Blade, of course everyone's going to cancel this one. But it's kind of like Indiana Jones. You get the new Andy because you want an Indy. It's Indiana Jones. So I do agree with that one. I do think this figure looks really good, though, as far as the likeness is concerned. There's nothing here for me personally, optical. Like, I love Deadpool 3, but this Blade, I have absolutely no interest in whatsoever. But I do love Wesley Snipes as the character of Blade. I did like his role in Deadpool. It's just not the Blade that I would want. I probably wouldn't even get the original, to be honest. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask this question. But still, I think collectors are excited for it. And Kiko, I'm with you. I just have my doubts that a lot of people are going to follow through on this one in terms of like, this is the Blade that they truly want. I think everyone's desperate for a Blade, and this is just what's available. And I think that's what's happening. But Optical, what are your thoughts on that?
I think so too. I think there's two folds to this because Deadpool and Wolverine I put it in the same category as No Way Home.
Yes.
So on No Way Home, let's say Blade is the old Blade, but same was Doc Ock. He was the older Doc Ock. And I think people still bought it. Would we like the Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2? I would say so, but this is what's available and it's sold out. That Doc Ock, right? So with this Blade, are we gonna settle? I guess, but there's also this argument that maybe you can put a trench coat and just pretend that this is the Blade that we do have, right? This is as close as you would get. What if they don't make one? So those are the arguments. Now I can also make an argument that even if they don't make a new one, I love Deadpool and Wolverine, so I could talk myself into, hey, I don't care if this is the old Blade or the old, because I did that with No Way Home. I bought every single figure from that. The old.
Oh, did you? Nice.
I did.
That's a good line, though. That's a really good line.
It kind of just brings this warm feeling to you. Like, even though I'm getting, the not so desirable Doc Ock, like the face, a lot of people, complain about it.
Yeah.
Even Goblin, they gave us 2 versions of that. Electro, I can say Electro's better, from the previous Electro, but the movie for me, Deadpool and Wolverine, is good enough that I could just, hey, this is Blade from Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm okay with that. It's, for me, the figure itself he looks tired. He just looks.
He does look very tired.
He just looks like he's
been up with like a screaming baby all night or something.
He just want to take it.
I mean, he is over that shit. We know it.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh man, it's February. I got to pay my taxes and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which he didn't, by the way. But
yeah, exactly. You would know. You're an accountant, so you're the winter soldier basically now.
I'm the winter soldier of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. Like I don't pre-order things, but I can see myself going down the rabbit hole of even as far as getting Gambit. So I just love the movie. I just go all out. It's me. So
I think Optical, that's fair, because like you said, there are lines that people want to complete. That's clearly how InArt feels right now. They're like, we're not going to make Game of Thrones right now. We're going to complete Harry Potter. That's what that's their thing. They want to complete lines. It's important to people, clearly, with Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. And this Deadpool line, clearly it's more important to Hot Toys because they see the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. The last Marvel movie to make $1 billion since what? No Way Home? Right? Yeah. That was probably the last one that's done it. So I think it is that level of line and commitment that people are going to want to complete the Deadpool and Wolverine line. So for me, all I need is Deadpool and Wolverine. That's it. I'm good with those two. I think that's going to be the majority of people, Kiko, but I think there are a lot of people who love completing this line, similar to like Optical said to No Way Home.
I do have Lady Pool, though. I do think that is a great piece. So
is it? Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't want people to think that I was all anti everything that came out, but I did get Lady Pool, and she looks great.
You didn't get Kid Pool, though?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, yeah. Kid Pool does have the couch. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the best accessory of all time. That's figure of the year quality right there. One thing I do love that I got to point out here, the blood on the weapons. I do love that Hot Toys did not remove that element from Blade's character, because I think with this, like that pose, for example, really gets me. I'm like, that's pretty cool, actually. Like with the blood on the blade and having his sunglasses on, I think that's pretty cool. That screams Blade to me. Older Blade, younger Blade, whatever. And there's only going to be one Blade ever, apparently. So there could be only one Blade figure ever in recent times.
Well, as we saw, Mahershala Ali gave up Blade to go play in Jurassic Park, as you saw.
I mean, dude, honestly,
but that's a topic for another time.
How many times, Kiko, have I said this? Mahershala Ali is one of the greatest actors on the planet, and the fact that Marvel has completely wasted him is a travesty. Like it's like getting Leonardo DiCaprio and being like, well, we just never made the movie. Like, oh my god, dude, it's like 2-time Oscar winner. The dude's incredible.
I fell in love with him in House of Cards, and I was like, this dude is badass.
That's where I saw him the first time too.
And then, Remy Danton, man.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, he showed up in Luke Cage, and then he was in Moonlight, which people have seen, and then Green Book I really loved. He was in. So, yeah, the dude.
Yeah, like you said, he's incredible and absolute waste.
Absolute waste. I don't know who's going to be Blade now. I don't know. People were saying Aldous Hodge. He would be pretty good, actually. Aldous Hodge would be pretty good. That'd be a good choice. He was Hawkman. I don't know if you guys remember Hawkman from Black Adam.
Black Adam. No one remembers that movie.
Yeah, no one remembers the movie. I remember the kid on the skateboard. I remember that. I remember that. He should have been an accessory with Black Adam, actually, but I guess we'll see over time whether they decide to do another Black Adam, which I doubt. Clayton Stitt, thanks so much, bro. A super chat from him. Will, are you going to cop Channing Tatum Gambit? No, I don't think so. It's a good question. But for me, I'm going to stick with Deadpool, which I already got, and I still have been trying to review, but I keep getting stuff to review instead. Deadpool and Wolverine are going to be my two guys there. But are either of you guys getting Gambit when he gets announced? No, Kiko. Oscar, it sounds like you might.
Most likely.
Yeah, you're getting Gambit, dude. You're getting Gambit.
I kind of like prepared myself for this line, and I was just like, I'm gonna get everything. Kind of like No Way Home.
That's fair. I mean, it's honestly cool to have a complete line sometimes if that's your display. Like I have the No Way Home line. Like Endgame is a pretty cool one too. Endgame, Infinity War, stuff like that. Those figures are like $5 now, but
yeah, like kind of like the No Way Home, like that Andrew Garfield is not a good figure at all. Like just if we're talking about just pure figure, that is not.
Right.
it's still sold out. You know, I think because the movie just was good with people. That's why I just like, and I think Wolverine and Deadpool does the same thing. So I'm guessing it all.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, Optical. And I think at the end of the day, these are iconic characters and representations, and people just want a representation. And Blade is an iconic character, make no doubt, make no mistake about it. So people want a Blade, and this is your opportunity to get one, even though it's not the Blade, it is a Blade. Kind of like you said, Kiko, Indy Jones, old version 2.0. So anyway, guys, let's move on to our next topic. I think this one will be rather quick, but I guess we'll find out as we go. Hot Toys released a gold Iron Man Mark III figure. So the way I want to phrase this question, I mean, it is slightly negative in connotation there, but I will say I think it probably deserves it. I mean, look, I understand at the end of the day, business decisions must be made, and these type of figures help Hot Toys make other figures like Darth Revan and Starkiller that, or other maybe Darth Malgus that we want to be made. Because these are profitable, they're probably cheap to make, and they help keep the lights on and keep them in business. I get all that, but I still hate it, Kiko. I don't like these. I have no interest in them whatsoever. Every time I see a Hot Toys announcement in the morning, I'm excited, and then I wake up to disappointment seeing that it's this. And I'm like, and we actually, Kiko, I think it was Dean who said on the show, he's like, they're going to make a gold Iron Man, or one of you or Dean said that, and then they literally fucking did.
Darth Vader.
Yep, a gold or a purple gold Darth Vader, or whatever. So Kiko, how much do we hate this Iron Man on a scale of 1 to 10?
Excuse me. 24 karat gold on a scale of 1 to 10. My thing with this, as you said, it funds other projects. Fine. But didn't we just do this? I thought they literally just did a gold Mark III, or maybe it was a gold Mark 7.
It's golden red. It's golden red.
Well, no, that was the
that's different.
Like chrome golden red. Yes.
Yeah, right. But then like going back to these repaints, if you want to call it that, I think the D100 Iron Man is literally the only one that like made sense because it was for something, you know, D100. Right. Like that was cool. Like the 100th anniversary of Disney, and sweet, cool color combo, great display base, whatever. This is Chrome Cody again, and at this point, how many more do you need? And I mean, sweet for the people that really like this. And I know in Asia, like the Iron Man displays are phenomenal. The people that go and all out on those, especially with like these newer bodies, you know, because this looks like it's an upgrade from, you know, it's the 2.0 bodies, you know, from the Iron Man 3 and Mark 2. And they're bigger, they're beefier, they look good. But the amount of people that I feel like want this, I mean, it was still up on Sideshow. It might still be up on Sideshow, honestly. And I saw the thing is up for like over 24 hours just because no one wants to pay close to $500 for a gold Iron Man. I mean, whatever.
Kiko, some of these shots look pretty cool, though, I got to say. But I will say, at the end of the day, I have no interest in this figure whatsoever. But I think the photographer did a good job. I love the smoke effects in the background and the light. I think the photos are actually pretty well done. But the all gold, Kiko, you're right. It looks good, optical. I don't know how many Iron Man you have. I have only 2 at this point, Mark 7 and 85 battle damage. It does look cool when someone has like a whole case of Iron Man. That's pretty cool with all the different variants and stuff. But outside of that, I can't imagine anyone being like, I only need 1 Iron Man. Let's get the gold one. Right? Like that's never going to happen at any point. The base is pretty cool, but to me, it's like, it keeps the lights on. It's a business decision, but I just hate it that resources have to go to these instead of making other things. But what do you think about this, optical?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't even buy that anymore. Where they say, I was like, oh, they're doing this so we could fund other projects. I just think that they have leftover Mark IIIs that they have. My point is, why not just reissue Mark III? A lot of people still want that, you know, like the actual Mark III. Yeah, it's sold out. Why not just do that again and then put it out there in small batches? Maybe, I don't know, put 200 again, because at least that makes sense for people who wasn't able to buy the actual Mark III. Because it's hard to find.
Was it a quarter scale gold Mark III? Was that what it was? I know
that does sound familiar. Actually,
yeah,
there's only like 100 of them, or there was a super limited. But I could have sworn they've done this.
Yeah. I think I think you're right, Kiko. I think there's a quarter scale gold Mark III. But my point is, like, why not just do the actual Mark III? Like, a lot of people are still looking for that. You'll see in search of in BSTs, right? And they're not going on for cheap. You know, at a minimum, you'll pay retail. Just get the actual Mark III, put 100 or 2 or 500 out there instead of making golds. Like, I like Batman and Wolverine. I'm not praying every day that I get a gold Batman. Like, I was just like, God, I hope they make up my.
And what do you know? They woke up and gave you a gold Batman.
They did actually, or
They
a purple
did.
and gold Batman, or a Batgirl too.
Isn't that supposed to be like limited and they're now available in Sideshow? Or
Yeah, I mean, I think all of them are just, yeah, no one really. I mean, again, there's an audience for it. The people who really want to get those extra repaints and love those characters, but it's just like, I get it's so cheap for Hot Toys to do. They already have the molds. They can do whatever they want with it. They're just going to make another version, slap a new coat of paint on it, and you're good to go. It's cheap. You make a lot of money, sure, but it's just like, damn, it just gets me so disappointed looking at it. And I'm just like, I really wish this was something more exciting. I mean, again, we're being a little bit spoiled, right? Because we got so much good shit in 2024. So I guess we can suck it up and take some of this stuff every now and then, but I just don't like it. I just look, again, it's not for me, Optical. It's not for me, Kiko, but it's for someone out there. I just can't imagine who it is. Someone out there really wants a gold Iron Man that has never been on the screen before, but it's fine. Do you guys, again, get the figures that you want, but leave me out of it. I don't want the Iron Man Mark III gold version. I don't want that version. But there was a figure. I don't think any of us are really even going to know. So the chat's going to have to help us on this topic. VTS announced a figure, the Blue Eye Samurai from the Netflix animated show, which everyone is messaging me, Optical and Kiko, telling me how fucking exceptional this show is and how I need to watch it immediately. I will say, I did watch a few clips on YouTube. It looks pretty exceptional. I watched the clips and I was like, dude, this looks so good. People said, and they dropped a new Invincible, which I've been watching, which is incredible so far. Been loving that. Kiko is not an Invincible fan, but it's pretty remarkable. Nonetheless, we have an announcement from VTS Toys. 16 Kit has not put this up for PO yet. A lot of people have messaged him asking him about it. I don't know what his official word is. I'm assuming he's going to carry it, but I'm not sure just yet. The show looks pretty cool, Kiko. But what do we think? Should we appreciate third-party companies more for filling that void and offering characters that the licensed companies are never going to offer? What do you think about this?
I don't want to shit on anybody because this may mean a lot to a lot of people, but is the tailoring this bad in the show as well? Like, is this a screen accurate version? Because that looks really, really clunky. And
I don't know. I have to look her up. Hold on. Please.
I mean, and sweet, you get a couple swords and hands. This better be like 125 out the door at most. I'm a little concerned, but I know there's audiences for things, and the people that like the stuff I like don't like the stuff I don't like. It's whatever, because everyone's taste and your style and the things you collect, that's up to you. And I'm glad that you do that. Collect what you want, for sure. I just don't try to push it off on me and then be like, well, like I don't care. I'm happy for you. So I don't have much more to say than that. So
yeah, that's fair. Well, this is kind of the stuff that happens in the show, Kiko. You can see there's like this is just like a behind the scenes, behind the animation, but it's pretty cool. I mean, the characters look pretty awesome. Like, it looks like a really well done show. So, and you can see the actors going through there, or the voice actors, I guess the animation, I should say. But still, I think the outfit, it's a samurai outfit, Kiko. So it's meant to look a little bit more baggy like that. Jin Sakai has some similar sort of attire on. When
I'm talking about the stiff cloak. I mean, it doesn't drape, it like pushes, or unless they're trying to go for the windblown look there.
Yeah, I think they're going for like a windblown look there. But I think it looks like it's wired to me or something, or maybe they've taped it down just for these photos. But I don't know. VTS Toys, I mean, I don't always love the products that they produce, but for an animated character like this, I think they can pull it off. But guys, let us know in the comments below what you're thinking. Optical, what are you thinking? Should we appreciate third-party companies more who are making this type of product? What are your thoughts?
Dude, that's a really low wind that's blowing.
It's a light breeze.
It's a breeze. I'm with Kiko in this one. If it's hard to say this, but I love some figures that third party does, and they keep getting better and better.
Yeah.
However, it's hard for me. Like, I can't buy every Hot Toys figure, and I think what's hard for me is the prices of third parties coming closer and closer to a Hot Toys figure as well.
Yeah.
Like they're getting better, but they're getting closer to a point where I have to question myself now. For example, like with Kiko, if I give you a voucher right now between this and getting Blade, I think I don't know, Kiko, would you get Blade before this?
Yeah, because at least I have a tie to that franchise. I mean, I have no idea what this is. So
right.
Yeah. even with third party, like I love Uncharted. I know you were showing it to me. I love God of War.
Mm-hmm.
I love those franchises. I think I platinumed them, but I just for some reason I can't pull the trigger. Maybe it's just me. Like before I pull the trigger, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna put 220 on a third party. It looks good, like that Uncharted looks good. But before I do so, I'll be like, oh, maybe I should just get Balan Skull or something. You know, like I don't even like him. I don't even like him that much, but I just feel like, oh man,
yeah.
Can I just add 70 and buy a Hot Toys figure? I don't know. Like maybe that's just something internal that's fighting me, but I don't know. But I'm glad that they do make him because they do, like you're right, they do fill that void. It's just that there's so many stuffs right now that are legit that, yeah, and this is nothing to do with being, having license or not, because I don't really care about that. But they're cool too. Like there's Hot Toys that might not be in your pipeline. And then when you're about to buy that third party, it was like, this second tier, maybe I should just buy this, Like,
I mean, last week I acknowledged that the Arcane figures looked gorgeous. I mean, but compared to the Arcane figures and this, two properties I'm still not interested in, I'm going to go with the Arcane stuff because they're more visually appealing to me.
Yeah, those Arcane figures are pretty remarkable. Those are going to be some of the coolest Hot Toys I think that they've made. But seamless bodies, on type of stuff. I will say, Optical and Kiko, I'm a sucker for samurai characters. You know this Optical Bellamy with Ghost of Tsushima and Jin Sakai. And I'm going to love the new character in the Ghost of Yopei or whatever it is, the new Ghost of Tsushima Part 2 game that does not have Jin Sakai. It takes place in the future, a couple hundred years, I believe. But I'm against you guys a little bit. I think this actually looks pretty cool. I want to watch the show. And I think after watching a few clips, I definitely want to give this one a go. I'm not a huge fan of VTS and what they do generally. From the figures I have seen, I've not owned one, but I do think this one looks pretty cool. Again, I have a connection to samurai characters. I love that Scorpion figure that I have. I love Jin Sakai. I would love to have a Sub-Zero. I like this. So I think it looks pretty cool. Again, I don't trust VTS entirely, but I want to watch the show and see whether this is something I'm interested in. I have a feeling I'm going.
VTS though.
What? Yeah, it is. This is VTS.
I said, who is VTS?
Oh, they're the one. They made Final Fantasy figures.
Okay.
They made.
So you have a tie to that.
But I don't have their Final Fantasy figures. I have Game Toys. But I mean, because they're a lot better. But VTS made Final Fantasy figures and they were pretty mid compared to Game Toys. But Game Toys is like setting the bar super high for third party. But I also get where Optical is coming from. Like that Lim Toys Nathan Drake Optical. Kit put him back up today in stock. He was $288 shipped.
Yeah.
So
Hot Toys.
That's right, a Hot Toy. So for most Hot Toys, maybe that's like a lower end Hot Toy, but it's right around that mark, right? You're right around the same price at that point. That Nathan Drake is really incredible. I love it. I think it's on Hot Toys level for a video game character, but I think most people are not going to choose Nathan Drake over Blade, right? Or choose Nathan Drake over someone similar like that. So for me, I think this is a very popular show. It sounds like I want to watch it. I'm excited about it because I am interested in this I'm just excited that third party is giving people figures that they otherwise would not have the opportunity to buy. I had a lot of people messaging me about this, and I saw a lot of people talking about it on Reddit and Facebook, and I was excited about it for that reason, that the community was getting excited about it, and now I'm going to go watch the show because of it. So instead of like, what was it, Warriors from the Future, Kiko, the Johnson and whatever, those figures, like I was like, I don't know if I want to watch those, but yeah, anyway, we'll see. I'm going to watch the show, guys, so I'm glad the chat is weighing in. Sounds like the show is really great. A lot of people were telling me it's a 10 out of 10, like one of the best shows on Netflix. So I'll watch it. But I got to watch Invincible first because there's 3 episodes of that. And that show is, despite what Kiko says, pretty remarkable. I love Invincible. So I would love someone to make good Invincible figures Optical. I don't feel like so. I like the Invincible kind of that they made, but over time I was like, it's not quite there of what I want it to be. So we'll see how I feel over time. Nonetheless, guys, let's move on to our next topic, and it's actually the Hot Toys Showcase. So I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch this, but Sideshow did a showcase yesterday, showcasing some Hot Toys figures. I was a little bit confused because they said they were going to do more today at 1 o'clock, and then it was just like a JC Hong interview, which was pretty cool. I loved seeing that, and an artist from Hot Toys, but they didn't show any other stuff that I saw. Maybe if you guys saw something different, I didn't see anything. But Kiko, I had, reveals is the wrong word, but I really had no other term to use here. There's nothing here that we had not already seen, but it was cool to see some of the stuff again. Kiko, are we satisfied with what they showed? I was expecting a little bit more, but what are your thoughts?
Set yourself up for disappointment and you'll never be disappointed, essentially. But yeah. I think, I'm disappointed that I pushed off my all that to say because I thought there was going to be a lot of news this afternoon that I'd have to cover because I was going to plan on. I didn't want to like put out all this news show and then all this news drops and I have to. So now they screwed me. So I didn't get to put out a new video because I had nothing. They screwed me anyway. It's great to see the things in person, I guess, that you saw as opposed to like blogger photos. And so I think that is the outside of Secret Base and stuff, because we see the stuff at Secret Base, like the Malgus and all that. But this is the first time I think we got a real good look at the T800, which obviously is still in development simply because of the base. I mean, I hardly think that that's the base they're going to put out if they've, done that with the other two. It was cool seeing, your Artisan Moon Knight, which I know you're excited about, Will.
Mm-hmm.
But it just kind of, hey, here's what's coming. And I was hoping for something exclusive. I know that coming out of Chinese New Year, there probably wasn't a lot that we should have expected. But it is what it is. I think, honestly, the big takeaway is that Hot Toys is putting their people out to talk, which is a good thing, which is something that we've clamored for quite some time. And I remember I think the last JC video they did was 10 years ago. And so to get him out there and a sculptor out there, or maybe one of the painters, I don't remember which one it was, but that's exciting to hear because, they're no pun intended, they are kind of the faces of the company that put out the faces. So it was a good little thing, I think.
Yeah, I think it was fun. I will say I got to give a shout out to the cinematographer, whoever did the production for this video. They did a great job. I mean, this is super high def footage here. It's great seeing these figures so well lit. And Sideshow didn't always do that well, Kiko and Optical. You know this, Optical.
They gave us the Artisan Anakin debacle.
Right, exactly. And now I feel like they've really taken, heed to that and saying like, okay, like we're listening, we're going to do better. These figures were presented very well. They're lit very well. They're shot very well. And I think that was pretty cool. I was honestly just watching it as Optical. I know you're a gear guy. Just watch this. I'm like, I wonder what they're shooting on because like this looks really high quality. There's like, I have a really nice Canon camera and I don't even think my camera gets to this level. Like this looks really high def here. And Malgus looks incredible. Talking from a figure perspective, Malgus looks great. So Optical, was there anything here that excited you? What did you think about the reveals that were shown?
I was kind of disappointed because there's no reveal. But like you said, it's basically what we saw. And I try to stay away from this kind of videos where they're just showing regular figures that we already saw. I like it when they announce it on Facebook and then we talk about it. But for me, like showing this again, like after a month or two that they announced it, like now we're gonna wait another year. Like now I'm hyped, like, but I can't do anything about it. You're just
right.
Like, I want to have it, but it's not gonna be out for the next year or so. I wish they would have included something because like I'm like getting ready. I was like, all right, this reveal is amazing. Look at this. We're gonna get. I guess there's a clean T800, but we kind of saw that. Yeah, I kind of saw that back then. So
there is, but Optical. But see that shot right there is what I want to talk about. So, and people tag me on this, and I generally agree it does look good. That is 1000% the old head sculpt. That is Kiko. Optical. You've had that figure. I owned this figure before. Mm-hmm. I can tell you for a fact that looks just like the old head sculpt. All of everything looks the same to me. The proportions, the facial structure, everything. I would prefer they update it. So I think this one needs to go back in the oven a little bit personally. Like I think this head sculpt it looks a little bit dated to me. The DX13, they updated a little bit, but that one was already pretty much perfect. Just update the paint applications, you're good. This head sculpt was always like pretty good, but needed a little bit of refinement. And I hope that they don't just take that old head sculpt, update the paint applications and think it's good to go. I think it needs a little bit of improvement. I think it's good. I'm very excited about it. I'm going to get it regardless probably, but I would like to see it better. They did say it's all genuine leather though, guys. So very excited about that. Genuine leather for this Terminator figure. No semblance of a bike anywhere. No Harley Fat Boy anywhere. It's unfortunate, Kiko. But I will say, speaking of the Terminator stuff, Kiko, we had Alien Romulus stuff shown too. I will say the Xenomorph, I'm pretty excited about that one. Optical got me excited again with no end in sight. This one's probably coming out later this year, early 26, but maybe later this year. But is there anything you were super excited about, Kiko, that you saw in there besides Terminator maybe?
If anything, it just re-emphasized the fact that when they put their time into making a side character like Malgus, damn, do they do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that could be one of the best Star Wars figures that they put, because they've upgraded all the nylon stuff. They're not doing the vinyl pleather anymore. So that's a great thing. The sculpt looks good. I mean, he just looks so good.
That looks amazing.
I mean, just the paint applications on the face alone, and do that zoom in like they did. I think it comes right up after this.
Yeah, let me see.
but like where they did the zoom in of the face because it just looked so good.
Oh yeah, there we go.
But that's the key point for me. I mean, look at that. That looks great.
That looks incredible. And the hood looks far better than Revan's.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Like Revan's hood is ass.
When
like,
they do the 2.0 of Revan in the Star Forge uniform, because you're going to get the all white version. You know you are. And so then I think they'll have him done right. So we'll see.
That's a pain though, because his iconic outfit is the one we got, but it's just they didn't do the hood properly. And again, not putting fucking wires in the hood, Kiko.
Well, not necessarily even the wires. The seam down the middle is the thing that's just so painful.
Right, exactly. Like I don't understand why they did that. And you can't not have his hood on him. Like that's his iconic look. I mean, you can't. Malgus looks incredible though. I'm glad I pre-ordered him. So I got Malgus. I'm super excited about it. But guys, we got the reveals. It is what it is. I'm excited about it. Optical. I'm still looking forward to everything that's on there. But again, I'm with you. I was a little bit disappointed. I was expecting a bit more. I wanted to see something new. And they never promised us something new, but I guess maybe I just got my hopes up still. All right, guys. We're to the big topic, I think, of the evening, which I think is going to be our fun one. But here's what I want to say before I introduce
James Bond. Oh,
James Bond. Actually, we can talk about that. That's on the docket as well. I don't think I sent you that screenshot, but I need to make a banner for it, but it will be on there. But guys, here's what I want to say before we get into this discussion. This is not a political channel. We're not going to talk politics. We're not going to talk about Trump versus Biden or Kamala or anything like that. We want to focus specifically, and I'll say it to you guys as well, focus specifically on what this tariff could potentially mean for Hot Toys collecting. I'm going to try just all possible to avoid all the other shit, like opinions about China and this and that. Like, and guys, if you're in the chat, please try to be respectful, because anytime we bring up a topic like this, it can sometimes be messy. So I'm hoping that we can be responsible with this one and productive and talk about what it means for collecting, because that's the goal of this channel, to keep all that other stuff outside of it and focus on the core of what we're doing here. So the question, Kiko, I want to ask, a 10% tariff was enacted for, at least from what I read, at least. Correct me, I'm not a political guy. I don't even vote. So it was enacted for imports from China. So how eventually could this impact Hot Toys collecting, Kiko? Say this tariff goes up to 25%, which was theorized at some point. Say it goes away. Is this going to have any impact on Hot Toys collecting? And if so, if there is any impact, what do you foresee that it would look like?
So I appreciate your opening, Will, that, let's keep this civil and let's just talk about as simple as it is, because damn, it's a tough time to have a conversation with anybody you disagree with. That's the thing, is that nowadays, like if you have a difference of opinion, you are not allowed to voice it. And if your opinion is different than mine, you're an absolute dumbass and don't even question me. That type of thing. We have lost the We have lost the ability to communicate as a society, and I think that's a damaging thing. We need to open up dialogue again. And so, Will, thank you for allowing us to have dialogue once again. Respectful dialogue. Let's leave it at that. Yeah. Because learning things that you may not know and getting different opinions on things goes a long way. So there we go. So this is, I think, funny because I get a lot of shit for sometimes when people is like, well, yeah, how do you think us, the world doesn't revolve around the United States. So, there are kind of things out there, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Welcome to Europe. We have all kinds of import taxes. Welcome to this, welcome to that. You should see what I have to deal with, blah, blah, tax and duties. If anything, at a bare minimum, we will finally know and be a part of this global community where we have to pay more for our toys than other people have to pay for their toys. Mm-hmm. That's what it comes down to. Now, at the end of the day, these are novelty pieces. If you get priced out of this hobby, like I saw a lot of people frantically start saying, I'm done, I'm priced out. Okay, I hope you had a good time, and I hope you find something that makes you feel good, because we all need things. I was recently talking with Amy of, I was like, hey, we got a lot of medical bills that we're working through. And I said, hey, I'm going to be cutting back on some of these things right here. And she's like, well, let me ask you this. Are you still having small bits of happiness, if you were to cut back on some other things? I was like, yes, absolutely. And everyone deserves happiness, and find things that give you happiness. Don't remove happiness from your life ever. So if you are priced out of Hot Toys, go find something else that makes you happy. That's fine. That's normal. That's healthy. Let's do that. So getting back to this is, at worst, Will, you'll have to pay more for figures at worst. All right. Now, I am not a geopolitical scientist. I am not an economist, or I'm not an I can't say it. I'm not an economist. but I am fairly well versed on a lot of different things to where I can be just dangerous enough when I'm in a debate with somebody. But the one thing that I thought was really funny to see people freaking out about is the lack of information and the parroting of false information. I mean, that's the world we live in, and just jumping to conclusions. Now, a lot of times they're like, well, how is this going to affect me, the USA collector? And everyone like in the chat right now, if you're outside the US, are probably just laughing. They're like saying, ha, suckers. You don't care about what we have to deal with. And I don't think this is a big deal at all, for one. And you're like, well, 10% is 10%. Yes, but everyone's like, well, what about the USPS strike? And they're just not allowing parcels to come in. And it's just not. Well, keep in mind, Big Bad Toy Store and Sideshow and all that, they get all their, and a lot of other people get a lot of their stuff in by boat. Okay. And so they get all their stuff in by containers and stuff from from shipping that way. And even Kit was saying, hey, I'll find ways to get around this. People, this is after, the trade war ended in a day. But Kit was saying, hey, it's going to be okay. I'm going to get you your stuff. I'll figure it out. And so know that retailers are going to get you your stuff. It's going to be okay. You may have to wait a few minutes, but you're going to get what you need. But going back to the boat thing is that think about all the stuff that comes in on a pallet. Those pallets are taxed or tariffed, if you want to call it that, at 10 and 25%. Everything on it is then broken up nominally. So if let's just say you have 1,000 pieces on a pallet that was tariffed at 25% or 10%, that 10% is broken down. It's almost like credit card interest. You don't pay if your credit card interest is 30% a month or whatever, you don't pay 30% on your balance. It's based, it's like per day, your annual percentage yield. And so your tariff thing is, divide that by 1,000. And so at most you'll go up like $2-3 per piece or something. And that's at the worst. And there's ways around it, people. It's not the end of the world, but I understand. It's your money. Be smart with it. And that's all I have to say on that.
That's fair. I think that was
long story short. It's going to be okay, people.
Yeah, I think that was very respectful and fair. And I have to ask Optical, as someone who works in, the finance or I guess our accounting industry, do you predict, like Kiko said, it would be as little as like maybe a couple of dollars? Like say the prices did go up, would it be more significant than that? What do you think?
Let's throw out the politics and in the finance aside.
Right.
Let's put on the collecting solely on this. I've been collecting since 2010. I bought Bane for $185. Now the Bane that I bought was $325. That is more than 10% in the span of 2010 to now.
Right.
Let's say at most it went up every figure by 10%. Like a regular figure now is $280, so add $28 to it, right? Like so add $28. So that would be around $320. No one batted an eye when Superman from Queen Studios was like $360, and that's not artisan, it's not rooted hair. So people are willing to spend money on something they want. You can make an argument to me that, that is a great figure. Well, Hot Toys is not going to be a bad figure if it increases by $28, right? Like it's still a good figure. Now you have a choice whether to buy it or not, and you're free to do whatever you want. If you think you're priced out of it, if you were buying 10 figures a year, maybe cut it down to 8 or find a new hobby, like Kiko said. But things do change even without increase in tariff. Like Hot Toys has increased their price from when I started up to now. I'm not going to be surprised if InArt would be like from $500, Aragorn to like $700 the following day, just because maybe even without tariff. And it's just how it works. It's increasing. Video games have increased. It used to be $40, now it's $70. Did I stop it, buying video games? I'm not saying this is right or I'm for it. I'm just saying let's not panic. Let's not make this a big deal out of us all of a sudden. It's a very easy solution. This is not water or food or necessity that we do have. We can cut down or we can quit altogether. Now, the USPS thing might be a little bigger because if you're buying from China, that's normally how you would save from shipping because they don't want to do DHL because that's expensive. Now, it might hit you a lot more than this tariff right here that we're seeing. But I agree with Kiko. It's not going to be a 10% race. It's divided throughout that entire batch that they have. Let's very extreme, let's say it's a $20 race. You know, like, Hot Toys is going to suffer too, because there's people who's going to be like, well, I don't want to do it anymore. You know, yeah, I'm tapped out, because 288 to 300, I don't want to do it anymore. And I understand, you know, like if you multiply that by 10, you get one more figure, or maybe not. I don't know, right? Like, so would $20 really stop these guys who are spending $7, $9? I've seen somebody looking for Gandalf for 900. You know, just like,
Yeah, I mean that they was going for that. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like,
They're still selling artisan Joker for 800 from Chinese. From
Jack Sparrow's been going
Derek Walker,
artisan
whatever.
for a lot. Yeah, Jack Sparrow, and honestly, people have been paying it for Jack Sparrow. I've seen him sell himself for $800. Like, he's been selling for a lot. Yeah.
With InArt coming up, and JND, I mean not JND, and even to an extent Jazz Inc., it just shows that people are willing to spend an insane amount of money just to get the toys that they want. I don't think, for the most part, 10% would stop these guys. Like I said, for a normal Hot Toys, that's the worst case scenario. It goes up by 20. $300, it goes up by $30. So a normal Ant-Man would be $330 now. You know, so I mean, maybe you don't buy an Ant-Man. Maybe you'll just buy the things that you normally want.
If anything, you'll rethink getting that golden armor Iron Man.
Mark III. Yeah.
Well, you should rethink your life on that one anyway. But I will say, but again, like, think, Optical and Kiko, to what you said. I mean, not everyone's a statue collector, so they might not get this, example here. But I paid $5,000 for 2 Final Fantasy VII statues, right? Collectors will find a way. But I do think I have gotten a lot of messages of people saying, I'm not pre-ordering anything until this is resolved. I'm pre-ordering less. I've seen across the gambit, all across the spectrum. And that's why I think this topic was worth broaching or addressing, because it's like, people are panicked a bit. And I think it's something where, again, I don't know the full impact of it yet. We're just gonna have to wait and see. It could be nothing. Like, it could be next week it's totally removed. It could be go up 20 to 25%. Who knows? We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what Sideshow or other people are gonna do. But I do trust the retailers, like you said, Kiko, like Kit, and I do trust Sideshow and Comic Concepts and other places like that I know are gonna get me my shit. So whether you pre-ordered it now or later, if the prices go up, we're just going to have to deal with that. But for now, we just don't really know. And there's no indication that's going to happen just yet, from my understanding. But,
some retailers won't have your back, but that's
they never did. So, yeah,
they never did.
Exactly.
They never promised that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like Toys Wonderland or something. But, and there's some others. But I will say there are some really good ones out there, and some people, that I think will have your back regardless. So I think for Hot Toys collecting, I think we're going to be fine. At worst, guys, if the price goes up like $20, people say, Optical, you've been in this game for longer than us. Like, we've all said this before. We've all been guilty of it. People say, oh, it's gone up by $20. I'm priced out. It's like, Are you really though? I don't think you're priced out. I think you're just frustrated, which is understandable. Like, I don't like when the prices go up either.
Well, PJ has been trying to quit for 5 years now. He keeps on buying stuff. Every time I hear that, I was like, I can't do this anymore by Anakin. I was like, what?
He's like, I can't do it anymore. The prices are so ridiculous. Pre-order, add to cart.
What I hope people don't do is overthink this. Because honestly, guys, if you're calculating and all that stuff, we don't need this. Just like, you don't need this in your life. You will survive if you don't get this. Just don't overthink it. If you can't afford it anymore, stop. Sell what you want if you want. Just don't go online and was like, well, this is doom and gloom. I was like, well, just go Mesco. I don't know.
Mesco. That's gonna go up too. Watch. Yeah. But I will say, look, again, we're gonna see. We're going to see how it'll affect U.S. collectors and beyond, but only time will tell. The only thing I was worried about is what this article originally was posting about. They canceled all incoming packages, then like an hour later uncanceled it. So I was like, that's what I was worried. So I was like, well, anyone who ordered from Kid or anyone else, like, how are you actually going to get those packages now?
Right.
And then they just revoked it. They said, oh, actually, never mind. We're not doing that. So that was nice to see. But it's definitely a little bit of a tumultuous time nonetheless. So X-Men Supreme, thanks so much, bro. $10 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. All I'm going to say is it's the principle. My right to the pursuit of happiness is being further restricted, and that, as someone who served the country, is unacceptable at any rate. That's fair, dude. That's understandable. That's fair. That's fair. And I will say, again, everyone's entitled to their opinion on that one. Again, I try to keep the politics and the political stuff outside of it, because I want to make these live streams fun. But this is something that I have seen discussed ad nauseum, guys. On all socials, Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, people have been theorizing, speculating, and panicking. And I think it was worth discussing. So long story short, I don't think anything's going to change immediately. If it does, we'll adapt to it and we'll do what we can. We don't want the prices to go up too high. I don't want anyone to be priced out. I want people to stay in the hobby, but it might just mean you have to buy less things. I've had to do that. So
it sucks, but it's just
Yeah.
just how it works.
you might have to
know?
buy
It's
one
just-
less figure a year if the prices go up. I mean, that's fine, but that's just, it's kind of just what inflation, right? That's kind of how that works. So
not overthink it. Just go with the flow. If it comes to a point where you can't do it anymore, then just stop.
yeah, exactly. But I doubt that would be the case. Even if the price goes up by $20 per figure, like, I mean, that's, just
yeah. I mean,
one less night out to eat a month. Then you'll be fine. Yeah, and you'll make.
Don't go to Wendy's that day.
Honestly, that's been such a thing, Optical. Like anyone I've either dated or been friends with who doesn't collect, they're like, you don't really spend money. Like you're super cheap. You don't spend money on anything. I'm like, yeah, because I spent $5,000 on 2 statues. Like that money's got to come from somewhere. So yeah, I'll be eating ramen for the rest of my life till those things release. But anyway, guys, the James Bond. So Kiko already teased that one, which is pretty exciting. Hot Toys has teased a James Bond collectible. But the question worth asking Kiko and Optical is this going to be the James Bond collectible we want? This could very well be a cost baby for all we know, right? Kiko, I think they did this with Squid Game, did they not? They made like a Squid Game little teaser like this, Optical, and then it was like, cost babies, bitches. That's what you're getting from Squid Game. We don't rule out the possibility they could make a front man. They could make a Gi-Hun at some point in 1/6 scale, which I would be all over those. I would love to have those. But we're hoping for a 007. Kiko, what are we expecting? And why is it Daniel Craig? Because it's got to be Daniel Craig, dude. I'm telling you. People say Sean Connery. Sure. Pierce Brosnan. Sure. It's Daniel Craig or bust for me. But what are your thoughts, Kiko?
So I'll actually read you my monologue if that's okay.
Yeah, read it to us.
From what I was going to on my show that was supposed to debut today because the other one didn't actually do that. Still pissed, but here you go. I'll just read this because this is perfect.
Yeah, dude, go for it.
I might even do it in my voice. Hot Toys teases 007. What? Which? Now, 007 figs are not really new to 1/6. You may or may not know, the now out-of-business Big Chief Studios took a swing at the Bond license and didn't do too bad. They not only did James, but they also tackled a couple of the iconic bad guys, such as Dr. No and Oddjob from Goldfinger. And if you're a kid from the 90s who grew up playing Nintendo 64 and playing GoldenEye, you know all these iconic characters would be a treasure trove to add in 1/6 scale. So, with that being said, which Bond do I want? My heart says Brosnan. That's who I grew up with. Or Daniel Craig, because I think Casino Royale is the best Bond film ever. But my head says Connery. But maybe it's Roger Moore, because the 70s called, and the OG Kamen Riders are now on the menu.
Oh, okay. So you think it might be the Roger Moore James Bond?
Well, only because they're potentially going back to the 70s, which is I could not be happier about. Because if we started going like to the I'm an 80s baby, we know that. But like the 70s is the stuff that my mom and dad grew up with, and so they're like, oh, this is cool. So Star Wars is the 70s, and so if we're going back to the big coiffed hair, and so I know we're not talking about the Kamen Riders right now, we're talking about James Bond, but it could be any of them except Timothy Dalton. It's not going to be Timothy Dalton. But I think Casino Royale is the best Bond movie out there. I do think Pierce Brosnan is the best Bond, but Sean Connery is the best, or I'm sorry, the most iconic. I think that no matter what, they win, because the 007 franchise has gone on for like 28 movies at this point, has been around for almost 50 plus years, if not more, actually. Goodness, thinking about that. Almost 70 years, I guess, if you want to think about it. Ian Fleming had an incredible idea, which it's a cool franchise, man. I'm so sorry, but like, it's more than just the guy in the bow tie. This is not, I feel like you could do more than just the John Wick approach to this. You could have him I saw like the different render and the mock-ups they did for all the Daniel Craig outfits that he used. You could do that. And if they do the bad guys, that's the cool thing. If you go Daniel Craig and you end up doing Lashif, you got your Mads Mikkelsen head sculpt already coming with Galen, you could do that. But even going back to the 70s with Roger Moore, did you ever play GoldenEye back in the day?
Oh, dude, the Golden Gun. Of course I did.
Yeah, I mean, so you got Jaws, you got Oddjob, you got Sean Bean, Trevelyan, all that stuff. I mean, you have all the bad guys you could do. I don't know.
I
At
forget it.
this point, I have no idea. Although I will say that kind of like off-white color kind of makes me think like, I don't know. That's very the off-white has me concerned.
Yeah. I will say Kiko just I remember the GoldenEye game scene. It was near the end of the game. You were at like this control panel. And you were trying to keep the girl alive and you were trying to shoot everyone while they were in the windows and stuff and like trying to get to the control panel. That was a wild game, dude. That was a wild game. You could play 2-player.
And they were trying to crack the thing and you had
exactly.
to I'm invincible.
I will say though, Optical and Kiko, my heart and my head tell me Daniel Craig. Like I think
just don't think enough people.
I think so,
the old people won't want Craig because they didn't like him because he's blonde.
But you know what I think? Because when you look at all the third-party versions, all the custom versions, they're all Daniel Craig, all of them. Like that's what I see so much.
Studios.
That's true. But I think Hot Toys, and they could do multiple ones for all we know, right? They could make Connery and Craig and
all of them.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that would be cool, like in art 4-pack. Yeah, but
and Dalton left out.
What if it was Artisan James Bond?
Like, what would you do? Just a coiffed hair?
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. It'd be pretty cool. But I will say, I think it's Craig. I hope it's Craig. Craig would be the only one that I would want. I don't think I would get the other ones, but I would get Daniel Craig.
Would you want the tuxedo or would you want?
I think you got to go tuxedo. I think you got to go. I love the other looks too. I really like the last James Bond film the best. Well, I forget what one that was called.
Is it No Time to Die?
I think so. The last one. I don't want to spoil it, but the last one, you know what happens. But yeah, the last one I think was really good. And Casino Royale was great. What'd you say?
I was gonna say he gets with another girl.
Exactly, it's James Bond style. But Optical, what do you think? What are you expecting from this potential figure line here?
A cost baby. Yeah.
Supposedly someone said in the chat it said #6 scale. I can check and see, but
it definitely did. I can confirm that because I looked that up.
Oh, is it okay? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't trust this kind of thing. I feel like I feel like this is something that they put out, kind of like it was like get us excited and then not do, because they could acquire the license. Doesn't mean they're gonna do anything about it. I mean, then they did something like this on a license, and they just I think that it's the Matrix.
Harry Potter, right? They still haven't shown anything.
Yeah. I think we're so happy. It was like, oh, we got the Matrix, and then they did one Neo.
Yeah, right.
In 2016,
and they teased Agent Smith and never made him.
Yeah. They never made him. Yeah, it was we had one. I mean, if we get one Bond, I guess that's a win. But I'm afraid. This is what I'm afraid though, because right now we're in the dry spell of figures for Hot Toys. Like Marvel's not doing good. There's really no Star Wars out there. So I feel like okay, we had some aliens with Romulus, and we're teasing you with Terminator. We're gonna get 07, and then all of a sudden Fantastic Four is gonna be great. I have a feeling it'll be good, and they'll be like, yeah, let's just throw this aside. We're gonna make everyone from Fantastic Four or something. Yeah, I'm afraid that that's gonna happen, and this guy will be eventually a cost baby. But we'll see.
They could do that.
Yeah,
they could. They could do that because, again, the reason they've been able to make Darth Malgus and Darth Revan and Starkiller is because there's been no Marvel and Star Wars shit to make otherwise. Like, what are you going to make? So, and that's why when these films start ramping up again, and Star Wars, who knows, that's in the dumpster fire, but Marvel starts ramping up again with all of these, projects like Doomsday, and of course you got Secret Wars, and then Fantastic Four, which could be a deep line. You got a minimum 4 figures there. Like, I mean, they're going to have their hands full. They're going to be busy. So
if they're good, like if that's a big if,
I bet the movie's good too.
I have a feeling it will be at least somewhat decent.
I think it'll be good. I don't know if it'll be like top 5 Marvel, but I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be pretty good. Fantastic Four needs a win badly. That franchise has suffered too
30 years.
Yeah, that franchise has suffered greatly, and honestly, they've never really made a good one.
2005, 15. I mean, if it sucks, then now 2025, we can reboot it on 2035. So every 10 years, we get a reboot.
We're just going to give it another go.
It's like Pennywise that just keeps coming back around.
Exactly. Instead of 27 every 10 years. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, guys, so James Bond, let us know in the comment section below. What are you expecting? What do you hope to see? And let's address the topic that Optical led us right into. Fantastic Four, the First Steps trailer. It emerged. And I actually quite liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I'm interested to hear what you guys think about it. But here are the suits, apparently, at least from what the trailer shows. And these are their first suits that you're going to see in the film. And maybe there's other suits in the film. I doubt it. But they're probably going to wear different suits, more modern suits in future films, maybe Doomsday or other installments. But if you want the first versions, they are going to look pretty retro like this. So, Kiko, are we excited for the possibility of incoming figures from this line? I do agree with Optical. I don't think this would be a $1 billion film, but I think it could make a lot of money. I think it could make $700 million. I think it's going to do and that's very well in today. That's very good in today's times. So I think it could do very well for itself. And honestly, I think it looks really good. Some people were a little disappointed with Daddy Pedro for him not being quite Reed Richards. I think he looks fine. I mean, I don't have the comic affiliation, but I thought he looked good. So I think it'll be fine. And I think Joseph Quinn's going to be great. Vanessa Kirby looks awesome in the role. So I think we got a pretty good lineup here. And John Malkovich is in the film apparently. So that's going to be pretty fun. But Kiko, no Galactus. I can tell you that's not happening. But are we excited for any incoming figures? Probably a Silver Surfer, although not the Silver Surfer that people want. But what are your thoughts about this?
It's they need the win 100%, just because this is the line that it was Stan Lee's last chance to try to make something of himself, and he created the Fantastic Four with Jack Kirby, and obviously they became Marvel's first family, and they are the ones that launched his career. So to have us in 2025 now, and we've still, after 4 tries, have not, I think maybe 3 full tries, have not been able to get anything going with the Fantastic Four, even the Fan Four stick, as you saw. I think with Michael B. Jordan in it and all that. It is curious that Invisible Woman is 26 years old. You may have seen this already, and she keeps getting older as these movies keep going. Vanessa Kirby's 38. Looks great for 38, let me just say. But like, they keep getting away from like the youth, and I think that's another thing people are upset about with Reed. I'm tired of kind of seeing Pedro and everything. Like, I kind of tapped out after Gladiator 2. I'm like, again. And then I saw him in this, and then I know you're getting ready to get him in Last of Us 2. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Crazy that half the Fantastic Four is in Gladiator 2, but whatever. Let's talk about figures. I think if you're going to get some really cool looking ones, this would be it. Knowing that if you want your comic book character versions of it, this will be the closest you're ever going to get, because when and ever how they get the shenanigans that get them into, Doomsday Endgame scenario, and how they get back to the future, they're going to get new modern suits, obviously, that we'll see. Remember even John Krasinski's suit, in Multiverse of Madness. I mean, they obviously upgraded, but if you're looking for the comic inspired, this is it. And this looks cool. No lies there. No lies detected. So if you're looking at, and just the baby pastel blues are pretty hot, not going to lie. I mean, I literally got the Carmelos back in the day, those shoes, because they're white and baby blue. I love those shoes, those Jordans, the Carmelos. But yeah. But it looks good. Yeah. We're not saying it's not going to look good, but will it be good? That's the question.
I think it's going to be good. And Galactus, I don't know how you would. Could you maybe make like a Galactus head or something and put it as part of a diorama? Like, I don't know how you would do it. Like, that's going to be an ongoing challenge, because it sounds like he might be the villain of Secret Wars. So if that's the case, he's fucking massive. Like, I don't know how you do. Maybe I don't know the comic iterations. Can he shrink down?
Goes in and out. I mean, he's the devourer of worlds.
But can he shrink down to like a human size where they can make that?
So. Yeah.
Can he? Okay.
I mean, he used to be a real person.
Right. So maybe that's what it is then. Maybe they'll make he'll shrink down and they'll maybe be able to make a human size at some point too. But that'd be pretty cool. Either way, I'm pretty excited for it. I think it looks good. Optical, what do you think about this?
Man, I mean, like you said, I think the movie at a minimum will be mid. I'm not expecting this to be, the Dark Knight or anything. But I think this would kick off where kind of like, all right, maybe I'm on board with Marvel again, because, it's been, 2-3 years where we're just like, all right, okay, that's another Marvel movie. But I feel like this would be like a little bit of, Fantastic Four has been a staple for Marvel. It's a big name. So just by the name itself, people are going to be invested in this. Whether it's going to be good or bad, I think that would dictate how much, because this is a commitment. No one just buy one Fantastic Four figure. It's like, I just want the thing. That's it. I'm not going to buy the rest. So if you buy one, you're kind of committed into getting 4, knowing that they would still, I'm assuming they're going to have, I don't know, maybe this is the outfit, but I'm assuming they'll come out with something more modern looking, maybe towards the end of the movie. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I think it would look good. No seams in here. You're not gonna see any joints anything.
Nope.
It's all covered up. Is it going to be fabric? What they're going to use, kind of like Spider-Man? Is it going to be rubber? I don't know. I guess that's another discussion out there. Is he going to have a second head sculpt, Human Torch? With a flaming head. Who knows? But as a figure, I think it would look good. Would I buy it? Let's say the movie bombed and it sucks. I mean, it's still Fantastic Four. Maybe I won't, because you're committing to 4 figures here. Maybe I'll wait till Secret Wars, assuming that the movie sucks. But right now, just I'm looking at it. I mean, I kind of want it.
I know this does look pretty cool, and you
Yeah.
might get a full backdrop like this. But not the 4 won't be that big, but like a 4 that you could put behind the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And I don't think Hot Toys is going to do it, but it'd be cool if they offered their first. I don't know if they've ever done a 4-pack before where you can buy them all together. I doubt it. They're probably going to make you buy them individually, but
I'm interested in the gimmicks that they're going to put with each, with Reed Richards. Like, they're going to have a long arm swappable with Invisible Woman. Does she have a like a head sculpt that's transparent and all that stuff?
Right. Human Torch, I don't know how they're going to. They already did one Human Torch with Chris Evans, but I don't know how they're going to do the Joseph Quinn version. Are they going to have a head sculpt that's like flaming kind of?
Maybe, and then surround him with fire. I don't know. I'm interested in the gimmick.
Yeah, I'm interested too. I think it's going to look pretty cool. But apparently, they said there was a rumor I saw on John Campea where they talked about. There's a scene with Pedro where he's using the flex power, and they like edited it for this trailer because they didn't want people to see it yet. So I guess they're going to save that for the next trailer. And they did show the flame on, which is pretty cool, but I think we're going to get to see a little bit more. I don't want people to get their hopes up, though. Apparently, Doom is not in this. They said he might be in a post-credit scene, but that'd be cool if RDJ is in a post-credit scene. His first appearance is Doom. I wonder if he does appear in a post-credit scene and he's in the armor. Does Hot Toys make it? They're like, okay, let's just make one now and get it out there. And then eventually you get one from Doomsday too. But man, this does look cool. I'm super excited for this. I'm very excited. July cannot come here fast enough. I think this is going to do very well. It's not going to make $1 billion, but I think it's going to do well.
Yeah.
Marvel needs a dub. And I think they're going to get it. So let us know in the comments below, guys, what you're thinking about this one. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see the figures. But I think we're going to wrap it there, guys. We don't have time to get into another topic, unfortunately. I think we pretty much went through. There was one more, but I think we're running out of time, so we're just going to save it for the next one. But Kiko, thanks for joining us always, man. Is there anything coming up on the channel? Because there was no news segment, all that to say. But what else is coming up on Mr. Kiko Collects?
Yeah, all that to say is that Sideshow screwed me over because I was hoping to have some more news today, and I was going to end up dropping one tomorrow, which we already talked about everything here. So I feel like most of the people that watch my stuff watches yours. So we talked about it here, and you even got me to read my monologue. That obviously I was prepared. Obviously you saw it. It was done. It's not
You
like
did come prepared.
I was just sitting on it. But no, get ready for our new video next week, our weekly video of where we talk about some bigger picture topics, which we ended up talking about the Hono debacle, and even got Justin to comment on that one because he found some interesting things I said, which
Nice.
that actually did fairly well. So appreciate the people that watch my real videos and the little videos that I make. And so the next one we're going to be talking about is and I like to make interesting videos. You know that, Will. So I won't spoil it all. We'll see you guys on Monday for that.
Yeah, well, it's going to be fun. I'm kind of dying here, Kiko, because I've been doing nothing but reviews lately, and I'm slowly withering away. Like, I can't be optical. Optical is too much of a powerhouse.
I can't do reviews, man. You saw my Raven Blade.
Well,
it doesn't work.
Optical just pumps out the reviews. I don't know how he does it. He and I were talking about it. Like, I just get so, like, I don't mind doing them every so often, but doing, like, them all the time, I just get a backlog, and I get so stressed. I'm like, I have 5 reviews to do. And, like, I can't do any of the other videos that I want to do because I have to get those out. So I'm trying to get through that backlog. I have Joker to get through. I might just do, honestly, people in the chat, I might just do Joker as a straight-on comparison video. I might just be like, not even a review. It's like in art versus, that's what people care about. I don't think they care about my review at this point on it. They've already seen Justin's and a million others. So I might just do a full-on comparison video. Yeah, other than that, I'll have that. And then I'll have Deadpool. I'm going to review Deadpool and maybe do something fun and unique with that one. But Optical, what reviews do you have coming? What do you have coming up on the channel, dude? I know you got some fun stuff. Always the preview master over there.
Man, I am taking out the brush because supposedly I'm gonna get 2 in-art figures tomorrow, supposedly, because the seller, as we know, is kind of shady.
Did he ship it?
He gave me tracking. So
okay, so you're good then.
I'm hoping he showed me like a picture of the box. It's in art and all that stuff. So I took my brush out, just ready to glaze all over it.
I need to do that with my Gandalf. Actually, I need to brush the hair a bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna glaze all over in art, and
yeah, like
it's either that or gonna be extremely upsetting. I was like, God damn it!
You're gonna be like, God damn it! I got Kiko'd again.
God damn it! I got Jokered one more time.
Right.
I never learn. But we'll see. But I'm excited because those two, the reason I got them is because they're the closest to my heart, which is Superman and Aragorn.
Yeah.
I love Aragorn. I'll trade every figure for a good Aragorn. But good thing I didn't have to. But I just kind of, dude, look tomorrow. I open it and I got an Asmus Aragorn.
If he shipped you a fucking Asmus, dude, I'm gonna lose it. Send me a picture right when you get it.
Asmus Aragorn.
Yeah, my Aragorn hair didn't require any styling. Really, it was fine. But yeah, with like in art that hasn't happened with recently, but with Joker that was happening. But with their figure since I haven't seen it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I'm gonna be like, hey, John, can you
can you fix my shit?
John.
It's like Johnny disappeared. Johnny has left the chat.
You left the chat.
Yeah, exactly, dude. But yeah, guys, check out Optical 20. Check out Kiko Collects. Of course, there'll be stuff coming up on this channel. There's if you would give me a pity view and a pity like on the Nathan Drake video, because I thought that one was going to do a little bit better than it did, but no one gave a fuck. So it's out there. I put a lot of work into it. It's like a 20-minute review. So check that out if you have some time.
The best figure he's held this week, guys.
It's the best figure I've held ever. Yeah, exactly. Ever this week / this week. Yeah. But guys, check that out. And I'll have the Joker comparison video up soon, and then Deadpool after that. And then we'll get back to our normally scheduled programming of doing some fun big picture videos, which I like doing a little bit more, honestly. But still, guys, check out them, check out us, and be safe and have a good weekend. It's approximately 7 o'clock right on the dot. We finish just on time. Guys, be safe. Bye. Thank you for watching another episode of Lights Camera Collect. Please make sure to click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And of course, check out my amazing co-host channel, Kiko Collects, linked in the description below. Thank you so much and see you in the next one.